Marcus is 41 years old. He teaches 8th grade history in Columbus, Ohio, earns $54,000 a year, and has been doing it for 14 years. He's good at his job, his students love him, and every single month, without fail, he runs out of money 4 days before payday. Not because he's reckless, not because he's stupid. He called me in October, frustrated, and said something I haven't stopped thinking about since. He said, "I don't buy anything I don't need. Where is it all going?" I told him I'd show him exactly where it was going. And when I did, he went quiet for almost a full minute. Here's the thing. Most people think their money problem is an income problem. Earn more, keep more. That's the story we're told. But Marcus doesn't have an income problem. Marcus has a direction problem. Every dollar he earns is pointed somewhere, and almost none of it is pointed at him. Think about that for a second. His rent, $1,350 a month. That's $1,600 a year flowing directly to a landlord who owns 3 properties in Columbus. His electric bill, his streaming subscriptions, his phone plan, his renter's insurance, his car payment, every single one of those dollars leaves Marcus and lands in the hands of someone who owns something. The landlord owns real estate, the utility company owns infrastructure, the phone carrier owns spectrum licenses and towers. Marcus owns none of it. And this is where capital theory stops being abstract and starts being personal. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. Capital isn't just money. That's the first thing most people get wrong. Capital is stored demand. It's anything other people need and will keep paying for. A power grid is capital. A rental property is capital. Even a small royalty on a song is capital. When you own the thing people need, money flows to you while you sleep. When you don't own the thing, you are the thing. You rent your time, your skills, your attention, and you hand the proceeds to whoever owns the infrastructure around you. Marcus isn't bad with money. Marcus is just on the wrong side of the equation, and so was I, for 6 years. Let me be honest with you. Between 2013 and 2019, I earned between $68,000 and $91,000 a year, depending on the year. I had a good job, I wasn't extravagant, and I had almost nothing saved. My net worth at 32 years old was $11,400. I can still remember the number because it embarrassed me so much I wrote it down. I thought I just needed to earn more. So I worked harder, got a raise, and somehow the money still disappeared. It wasn't until I sat down one Saturday morning with 18 months of bank statements that I saw it. Not the big purchases, those I expected. It was the architecture of the small ones. Every recurring charge, every monthly payment, every automatic renewal. I mapped out where each dollar went, and I realized I had built an elaborate, perfectly automated machine for transferring my earnings to other people's balance sheets. That was the moment. That was the emotional gut punch I needed. I wasn't spending money, I was funding empires. Just small, boring, quarterly profit report empires instead of the kind with marble lobbies. Now, this is the reframe. Because most personal finance advice tells you to cut things, cancel the subscriptions, stop eating out, drive a used car. And sure, fine. But that's treating the symptom. The actual disease is that you have no capital working in the other direction. Think of it like a river. Every month, money flows out of your account in one direction, toward owners. If you own nothing, the river only ever flows one way. The goal isn't to dam the river, the goal is to dig a channel back. And you don't need to be rich to start. Here's the data point that hit me hardest. Between 1993 and 2023, a person who invested just $100 a month into a broad index fund, boring, no stock picking, no clever strategy, would have turned $36,000 in contributions into roughly $194,000. That's not magic. That's just the math of owning a fractional slice of hundreds of companies that other people pay every single day. Now, what most people don't realize is that those companies aren't abstract. When you own an index fund, you own pieces of the landlord, pieces of the utility company, pieces of the phone carrier. You flip the river, partially, slowly, and then more and more and more. Marcus and I spent about an hour going through his budget. Not to cut anything, to ask one question about every line item. Is this going to an owner, or is it helping me become one? His $14 a month for a music streaming service. Going to an owner. Fine. He loves it, keep it. His $340 a month in credit card minimum payments. Going to a bank. with $210 of that being pure interest. That's capital destruction. We killed that first. His $0 invested per month, that was the real number. Zero. Not $50, not $20. Zero. Here's the action I gave him. Before paying a single bill next month, move $75 into a brokerage account and buy whatever the market gives you. A fractional share of an index fund. Anything. Not because $75 changes his life immediately. Because the habit of paying yourself first, before the landlord, before the utility company, before the streaming service, that habit rewires something fundamental about how you see money. It stops being something that passes through you. It starts being something you keep. Right? That's the whole game. Not the amount, the direction. Now, if you're someone who earns a steady paycheck and feels like you're working harder every year but somehow not getting anywhere, if you've looked at your bank balance the week before payday and felt that specific, quiet dread, this is for you. Not for someone who's already investing 20% of their income. Not for someone sitting on a windfall. For the person who's doing everything right by conventional standards and still feels trapped. Because you're not bad with money. You're just pointed in the wrong direction. Marcus texted me in December, 2 months after that conversation. He'd paid off one of his credit cards, freed up $140 a month, and set up an automatic $90 transfer to a brokerage account on the day his paycheck hits, before rent, before utilities, before everything. He said it felt weird at first, like he was doing something slightly illegal. That feeling? That's your primate brain screaming at you to protect the herd, follow the norm, do what everyone else does. Everyone else pays their bills first and invests whatever's left over, and whatever's left over is almost always nothing. The contrarian move, the move that actually builds something, is to pay yourself first. Buy a small piece of the infrastructure before you pay to use it. Marcus isn't rich yet, but for the first time in 14 years, money is flowing in 2 directions, and that changes everything. Every paycheck is a decision. You can send it all to people who own things, or you can keep a small piece and start becoming one of them. Tonight, before you do anything else, open your banking app and set up one automatic transfer, even $50 to hit a brokerage account on your next payday. That's it. That's the whole move. The river needs a channel back.